Today we're diving deep, literally, into one of the most mysterious developments coming out of Egypt in decades. Thank you for joining the Awakened Pineal News Report. My name is Austin, and we are here to talk about a different type of subject here. Two subjects about ancient Egypt and this new discovery that they found underneath the pyramids. And then we're going to get into a little bit of what is going on with RFK and these hidden poisons that are in our food, and what we can, some things that we can do about it, at least, while some of these leaders are actually really fighting against this. So welcome. This is a different type of news channel, one that's trying to help people to clean their pineal glands, to wake up a little bit in a more positive way, and to get their strength back, because a lot of people just feel really dissatisfied in life and kind of, and the news is just showing us so much different emotional triggers that keep us exhausted if we don't, if we don't take a break from them. So I want to create this news channel as something that you leave feeling like, okay, cool, I really learned something today. I learned something valuable. So that's what I hope to gain out of this channel. If you have any suggestions or anything, please comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you like this. So scientists from Italy and Scotland, they have announced the possible discovery of a vast underground city beneath the Giza plateau. So beneath the very pyramids themselves, they believe that there is a massive city with massive structures, at least. And I would not be surprised at that. I live in an area in the Andes of Peru where there's all these megalithic structures, and it's just quite incredible. Machu Picchu and Ollantaytambo, it's incredible how they did it. So using advanced radar technology, researchers claim that they've detected massive structures stretching nearly 6,500 feet below the surface. Now that's nearly 10 times deeper than the pyramids are tall. So that's a ways down that they're finding something. I mean, that's really far. It's over a mile down. Among the findings right now are 8 cylindrical wells plunging more than 2,000 feet below. So like wells, like water wells, we don't really know yet. Mysterious spiral passageways. So maybe it's like a nuclear generator type of thing, right? Because they do need water, or something along those lines. 2 massive cube-shaped voids, which they believe may serve as entry points to the enigmatic subterranean network. So this is absolutely amazing discovery. You got to always question, why is this coming out now? I mean, is humanity starting to evolve, starting to wake up? Is this planned? These are questions that I usually have. Like, is there some other serious news that's going on? And then all of a sudden, this comes out. Some people predicted this too, by the way, like in kind of the spiritual communities, and a lot of I follow some of those YouTube channels and stuff. And a lot of people are saying that there's going to be a massive development in ancient technology and ancient discoveries that is just going to blow religion. Like, it's going to make people question their religion. It's going to make people question like everything that's going on. So, which I've been doing, for like most of my life, and now I'm in a place where I can help other people kind of get through that, because awakening and kind of getting adjusted is not an easy process, but it's definitely very possible. And you will once you get grounded after you've had some spiritual experiences and awakening, and you get grounded in the earth, that's the important part, getting grounded here and being able to live your life while having kind of a different way of thinking about things. And a lot of people feel like they have to cover them, they have to be something that they're not, and they, so just takes each person at a time. It doesn't have to be all at once either, the awakening, right? So, so here's the controversial part, of course. Many in the mainstream scientific community are casting doubt, of course, because it threatens their jobs, it threatens their credibility, because they've probably said it was this or that, and the pyramids were just tombs, or they're just, they just built them because they wanted to, extension of their ego or whatever, right? They don't want that to come out. So experts argue that the current radar tech simply can't penetrate that deeply. I mean, if we have like incredible technology at our fingertips, AI, we have all these incredible things, I'm pretty sure that they do have that at the higher levels. So that they can definitely see that far down, because I know LiDAR is getting better, and just technology just gets better year after year. So Yeah, one archaeologist at the University of Denver claimed that called the claim extraordinary and says it needs extraordinary proof. So still, the announcement has reignited a firestorm of conspiracy theories and ancient mysteries. Yeah, of course, right? So that's the question. Could this underground network be a part of an ancient advanced civilization we've forgotten? I mean, comment down below and let me know what you think. I think it's very possible. I know in South America, LiDAR technology, they've seen gigantic cities like in the middle of the jungles, and who knows, right? I mean, it's very possible. Could this be a theory that, you know, ETs influence Egyptian society? I mean, that's all up for debate. We don't even know what that is, you know, really. I mean, ETs are human. I mean, I think we've been suppressed so much that, you know, yeah, that's just, I think, you know, humans can do that if we just got to tap in. These same researchers claim that many of the chemicals and toxins used in modern food production, so this is how it kind of tie into my next subject. We're going to go into the food, right? And so kind of my theory on that is like, you know, we're eating all these bad foods, and RFK Jr. is fighting this fight, you know, in power right now to help us to, you know, get some of these things out of our system. What does that have to do with the ancient technology and this ancient discovery? Well, if this is true that there was ancient technology and all this stuff that they had, you know, they were probably eating good. They probably weren't eating poison. They were probably at a very high level, you know, they probably weren't, you know, emotionally immature and all that, right? Like most of us are nowadays. And so, you know, they figure something out, how to tap into their potential. So that's kind of what it has to do with this food. It's like, you know, we're eating these foods. So here's some of it, right? So RFK, he is waging war against chemical food additives, seed oils, and the GRAS loophole, generally recognized as safe. That's allowed thousands of untested ingredients into our food supply. So as the ancient secrets rise from the sands, a modern awakening is happening around our minds, our bodies, and our health. And I'm excited, you know, because I've been wanting to kind of be a part of this in some kind of way for a long time. What about you? You know, have you felt that way? Like, hey, something be great if something could change. And I think it is. I think, you know, as much as it's crazy right now, the world, you know, we got to fight the good fight the best that we can. So as ancient, yeah, is this the new Egypt discovery or proof of a cover-up? So like, also, are they using this stuff as a distraction? That's the question, you know. But anyway, yeah, let me know down below. So the next thing we're going to get into, and just forgive me if it's a little rough around the edges here, I'm still learning how to present, how to talk clearly and all that. So any recommendations I would love to see down below and help me to build this, you know, build this channel. Let's make it like really cool, right? So RFK Jr. exposes 4 hidden poisons in our food. And this is why this fight matters now more than ever. So welcome, and RFK Jr. just went on Fox and Friends, and he laid out 4 dangerous substances hiding in our food. Most people consume these every single day, and they don't even realize it. They don't even know what they're doing to their body and their mind and their brain and even their spirit, really. So basically, these 4 things that he revealed one of them were seed oils. This is like death in a bottle, literally. I mean, these seed oils were also used as like motor oil back in the day, and it was cheaper, and they used like cotton oil. They used it, you know, for their tractors and stuff, and then they realized over time that it was a lot cheaper than olive oil and all these other, you know, healthier oils, right? So, you know, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, vegetable oil sounds healthy, right? It sounds like, oh, you know, this is good. It's vegetable oil. How can it be bad, right? These things are in everything. They're chips, your frozen foods, your sauces, and even healthy food, so-called healthy food. Look in there. You'll see, you know, one of those oils. Very rarely you'll see olive made with olive oil because it's a lot more expensive. But it shouldn't be. Not if we, you know, what if we just grew olives everywhere, right? Olive trees, and, you know, it wouldn't be that expensive then. That's the whole thing, man. RFK called it out. So seed oils are cheap, highly subsidized by the government, and cause body-wide inflammation. So this is serious health issues, heart problems, brain fog, gut issues, autoimmune disease. So I live in Peru, and they raised the price of olive oil to like 50 soles, which is something close to, $12, $13, $14 maybe. Yeah, and maybe even $15 actually. No, yeah, $15, $16, matter of fact. And that's not cheap. That's actually not cheap at all. You get a full bottle, but for Peruvians, most people are not going to buy it. Only people who can't afford it. And generally, most people just can't afford it, so they buy the cheap oils, and they don't even know that it's causing them this much, issues. And then in the United States, it's the same thing. There's probably a lot more health conscious people in the U.S., but here, we'll get into that as well, that maybe, fresh produce isn't everything that you thought it was, unfortunately. So the second thing that he brought in this interview was artificial food dyes. So these are made from petroleum. Yeah, we're eating petroleum basically, and stuff like red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. These dyes are linked to ADHD, depression, behavioral issues in children as well. And they're banned or heavily restricted in Europe, but here in the US, we just let it go. It's okay. So these same companies, same products, but actually in Europe, they ban those certain ingredients. They have to create different products for Europe. So why are they doing that to us? Why? Why do they hate us so much? That's the question. Like, really? Are they threatened by us? Do they do not want us to wake up? Is it a foreign influence that is just waiting, keeps continuously feeding this type of stuff so that, we're just too weak? That our pineal glands are completely shut down, so we don't question anything. We just follow. We just believe everything that is told. So these are the questions. If you're young out there, good. Start questioning things. It's not a bad thing. We need to be questioning. So I'm not saying there's not a place for authority. And I was talking about with my friend today, like, when you're younger, yeah, you think revolution, burn the whole system down. It's all, you kind of think in that mindset, but then you realize it's not all bad. It just, there needs to be an adjustment though, for sure. Like this is screwed up. This is so screwed up. It's so hypocritical too. They teach us that, oh, we care about your health. Don't use this type of toothpaste with fluor in it, which is a chemical that just completely deteriorates a lot of things. It's a poison. If you swallow it, it's a poison. So why would you put it on your toothpaste? Why would you drink it in your water if it's a poison? It doesn't make any sense. 3, natural flavors, chemical mystery soup. So you ever flip over the label and you see natural flavors? Well, when I was younger, I thought, oh, cool, there's natural flavors. Well, I keep drinking the cranberry juice or the apple juice, and you think you're drinking real, apple juice and cranberry juice. It's just like not though. It's more like natural flavors. So what's in natural flavors? It's basically a loophole. It's a disguise. It can mean a cocktail of lab-made chemicals, stabilizers, solvents, anything that tastes good and keeps you addictive. There's nothing natural about it. They found a way. It's corporate deceit, and they keep finding these ways to lie to us, and we keep accepting it. But we're not going to anymore. We're going to hold them to a higher standard. Not saying corporations are bad and need to be eliminated. They've done amazing things, right? Created this entity that can distribute and do all this stuff. We just need it to be healthier. We're not we need to stop killing our citizens. Like, man, I like Coca-Cola here and there. I drink it out of a glass bottle if I do. And in South America there might be better options, but still plastic, we're talking, things seriously need to change if America is going to have a future, because people, we're suffering. So many people are suffering, and we're exporting this stuff to the world too. By the way, it's not just America. Latin America is just. I've gone through the airports. I've traveled a lot of Latin American countries, and the food, it's relatively better for sure. You get natural produce and everything. However, it's not. People are very addicted to chicken, fried chicken, and all this other stuff as well, and. Coca-Cola, people mix Coca-Cola with their beer, and it's like, man, it's intense, right? So I just want to get educated. I want to educate people about this a little bit and just help them to, understand that we need to start to take this a little bit more serious in our life. And I'm not, perfect and everything, but I'm definitely trying my best here to get healthy again and get rid of parasites. I had parasites in my system that were making me tired, lethargic, cranky, terrible. And then a bacterial infection, and that's a whole nother thing. So we have to, it's good to take a blood test. This is not doctor advice or anything. I'm just saying it's good to go to the lab and get some tests. Talk to the doctor if you can get one. Find a doctor and just do some lab tests. Sometimes you have to be your own doctor. Use ChatGPT. There's like a doctor app on there. There's a doctor thing, and it really works well. And you can just speak into it or type it up, like everything that you're feeling and issues, and then you're kind of prepared for the doctor, because the doctors are, not all of them, but a lot of them are trained in a certain way. They're not, and especially in the United States, they're not trained for parasites, because we have some sort of arrogance that we think parasites don't even exist in the United States. But in fact, a lot of people have parasites and they don't know it, and it could be affecting your like how tired you are, and then on top of that, we're looking at our phones, at least on average 7 hours per day. We're looking at the phone, staring down, our attention span. If we don't have our phone, what are we going to do? What will we do? We've become fully immersed in it. So we just need to take a step back on everything and really see how is our health. How, if we're experiencing mental health issues, like what's going on in the physical? What are we doing that's not that's making us react emotionally in a certain way that's not good for us? Because you deserve to feel good in life. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to be happy. Really, it's I think our birthright. To at least minimum not to know what we are consuming, because most people don't even know what we are consuming in our food, and there's all these toxic chemicals inside of the foods that we cannot accept this anymore. On top of that, number 4, there's RFK talked about pesticides in your fresh produce. So this one hurts because people are thinking they're doing the right thing by eating vegetables or vegetarian stuff, and they're washing them and stuff. Here's the thing though, there are toxic pesticides in there if they're not certified organic, which even that's questionable, right? I mean, I hope it's right, but chances are if you're not, buying it with the certified organic label, there's toxic pesticides, some of the worst offenders on what are called the dirty dozen list. I'll bring that list together in the next video. So stay tuned for that, subscribe, and click the notification bell for that. And we're gonna really do this together. And so foods that, these really consistently test high for chemical residues. So RFK really said it best. He said, look at a strawberry and you think it's healthy, it might be doing more harm than good. And that is a sad fact. That is a very sad fact. So I don't know here in Peru where I live. Like I'm lucky I can get organic food in the market every single day, and that's easy. But what kind of pesticides are being sprayed on it? That's a very good question. Why are we? Yeah. So anyway, the bigger picture here to kind of wrap this up. This isn't just about Egyptian pyramids. This isn't just about the physical health and the chemicals. But it's about a combination of all these things, and your food is like the first thing that really affects your mind, your body, your energy, your clarity, and your potential. So, our potential, we can see if there's big cities, a mile underneath the pyramids, then there's some serious potential here that we're missing out on, and things can be changed. And there's a sickness. We have a sickness in this world right now that we need to cure. So, and it starts with each person, one person at a time. And I believe we can do it. So what did we learn here today? How can we talk about awakening, sovereignty, or spiritual growth without being numbed and poisoned from the inside out? So these are kind of the things. And we talked today about seed oils. How seed oils clog you, petroleum dyes disrupt your brain, pesticides disrupt your gut and immune system, and chemical flavors hijack your mind. So say whatever you want about all this. You think it might be crazy. RFK Jr. is crazy, but this man is speaking truth at a time where truth is very rare, and he's not afraid to call out big food, which big food is like big, man. These guys are powerful. If you've ever seen movies, some of these action movies of corporate and stuff, that's really how it is, and probably way more intense and way worse. They got a lot of power, man. So, anyway, the good thing is he's in some power right now. I think that's what I'm going to focus on. The rest of the administration, they're doing what they're doing, stuff that, I may or may not agree with it all the time, but that's all right. What I do really agree with is what RFK is doing, and that he's starting to bring some light to this. Anybody who's saying bad things again, you got to question why. Why would you saying bad when somebody's trying to help get chemicals out of your food? That makes no sense. And then you should be very suspicious of that news commentator or that news channel that's saying that in the first place, or that Twitter post or whatever. So just, use your common sense and just think, okay, it really is simple sometimes. And the change is very simple. We don't have, it is complex and stuff, but it's like, it's just knowledge. It's just being aware of it. And that's the first step. So, because the future of our health, it isn't a new drug or a new diet. It's getting these poisons out of our food system and then going from there. And then maybe we'll be energized enough and, happy enough and motivated enough and powerful enough and strong enough to actually really make a change and, start holding these corporations and stuff accountable. I'm not saying eliminate them all and all that stuff, because they've built incredible networks. It's like, but let's hold them accountable, and hey, let's create some health. There's probably healthy options that are not just Diet Coke that's filled with a bunch of crap and aluminum that causes all this and this and that. We need to make a change and make a comeback to kind of the way things used to be, in a new way though. So anyway, I hope you like that. Please subscribe to the channel. You guys have a great night. Bye.